Alrighty.
Hello.
And welcome back
to another episode of
Gives and Takes. Thanks for joining us this super chilly.
To the bone.
Cold morning.
Cold to the bone.
Evening.
Mm-hmm.
All. Just fall. It's very fall. I'm wearing multiple layers.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. You need it today.
Yeah.
And it makes sense for our episode today.
It does. Spooky. Very spooky.
I love that we put that poll out and so many of you requested the spooky stories.
I do too. We love a good scary story.
Yes.
But gotta be honest, so many of them were a little bit played out, you know?
The Reddit ones?
Yeah. I feel like it all had a very similar ending, and I feel like the ones we chose were good.
Yeah, for sure.
They're a little bit long, though, and sifting through them was a little bit of a chore.
Yeah.
Because you kind of get to the end, and it was like, and then it was the creepy man with the hook hand, or, you know.
Just so, like cheesy.
Yeah, the most cheesy thing, and it's like, okay, this was somebody's creative writing project.
Right. That's
you know?
It was hard to sift through those.
It was.
I found a few, spooky, pictures, actually, that we get to show you guys and share on our Instas.
Good, that'll be good.
Yeah, we get to, chat about those. But, yeah, a lot of them were super long stories. But we do have some listener write-ins, which is super fun.
It's super fun.
Ashley and I are just really getting into today's episode because an hour before this, we have been... there have been some technical difficulties. We, kind of a lot. We got another mic. We were super excited to be able to use two. And we're learning. Honestly, at the end of the day, we're learning. We're sifting through the learnings, but I think for having literally no experience, we're doing pretty good. We are. There's so much more back end stuff.
So much.
I thought another microphone just meant I'm just gonna buy one on Amazon and I plug it in and it's magically gonna, be everything and be perfect, but no.
You gotta have a separate software. You have to have an interface. You have to have all these things. So
we're learning.
And we appreciate you for bearing with us as we learn through this. So.
Yes, exactly. So if any of you guys know the answers, please let us know.
Or if you want a job. We can't pay you a lot. But we can pay you in blocks.
Well, we will definitely. I will get you some blue and red and green blocks.
We can. But have you seen that?
Yes.
I'm just a baby.
Yeah.
I don't have any money.
Yes, and the tagline is always my dog coming home from the vet. It's
I don't have any money. I'm just a baby. Yeah, but we can. We could work out a payment.
Yes,
Truly.
Let it be known. Let it be known.
If somebody wants to be our sound engineer and or our tech person,
let us know.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
We're not tech gals.
No, I hire people in tech.
Yes,
or have.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it.
Yeah, well,
gibberish.
We're doing our best.
Mm-hmm.
At one point today, Ashley clicked something and a whole ton of code just came up on the screen and we're both no.
We were both horrified. It was almost the whole screen of code and we were oh, that's not for us. There's no way that's for us.
That can't be it.
No, that's...
Delete that.
Let's just get that out of here.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're white knuckling through this, but with all that being said, we have now wasted a very precious hour of a weeknight. Late.
True. Yeah.
It's getting late into the night. So
shall we dive in?
Should we just get into it?
Let's do it.
Okay.
You have? Huh?
You go first this week.
Okay.
Because I think I went first last week, and.
Okay. I'll go first, and I'll start off with a listener. Write in.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm excited for this.
So I asked for horror stories, and this listener said, it's not a horror story, but my cats always act like they want to go in the basement of our house, but every time I bring them down there, their tails puff up, and they do that really deep cat yowl, like they're scared. And sometimes, when I wake up in the middle of the night, they're sitting together, staring at the basement door with their pupils all huge, and their hair standing up. And then I responded like, oh my gosh, that's so scary.
Yeah.
Like, do you know your house's history? Does anyone, or had anyone lived there in the past that had a cat?
Yeah.
So she wasn't aware of that, but I just thought that was a good way to kick it off, because I feel like everyone can relate to, like, that something has happened like that, I feel like, to everyone, right?
Well, animals have that, like, sixth sense, you know? And I feel like that's something that's so ingrained into our brains that, like, dogs always know if something's up, or cats always... So when they act peculiarly? Or is it just peculiar?
Maybe just peculiar.
The singular. Well, when they act fucking strange, you know it. You know it, like, right away.
Right.
Because it's like... Oh, you were just cuddling and now you're jumping, you know, or the that noise is terrifying when a cat makes that.
So scary.
Yeah. I agree though. I think everybody's kind of had that. And you almost just never know what it actually was.
Right.
Because we can't ask them.
And I wish we could.
I wish we could.
Yeah. I saw this one thing that was like, if you could have 1 minute to talk to your dog or your animal or your pet, like, what would you say in 1 minute? And, like, the comments were so funny. It was like, the pills that I give you, you have to eat them because they're really good for you, and I love you so much, and, like, when I take you to bed, it's not because I hate you, it's because I love you. You know what I mean? It's just, like, 1 minute, just, like, word vomit, like, all the things that you want to actually tell them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give you human food because it's not good for you, but sometimes I give you little treats, like.
I love that. What would you say? Like, one thing you would say to Kaya?
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's like, on one hand, I would just want to be like, you are my child and I love you so much. Or I could be like, please stop digging in the backyard. For the love.
Yeah.
For the love.
Yeah. like please, it's not for you. You are, the color of your fur is not meant for this, my babe. Yeah. And I cannot keep sweeping after you. Please, you're going to split my back.
I think that I would probably tell her, stop digging.
Yeah.
And I love her.
Yeah.
Like, a little bit of both.
You can do both, for sure. I think I would tell my cats that they're kind of like what those people are writing, like, I'm not punishing them by feeding them less. They just need to lose a little weight because they're not very healthy.
It's for them.
It's for them, like, but I feel like they have started to not dislike me more, you know, but it's just like they have a shorter fuse with me, and I think they're hungry and they're also a little irritated, but
you're bringing down the hammer and they're like, no, Mom.
Oh, and they freak out now anytime they get fed. Like, they're scratching walls and
oh my gosh,
it's nuts.
They're putting up a fit.
Yeah, I wish I could just be like, please stop. Like, this is for your own benefit.
Yeah.
I want you to live selfishly for another 20 years.
Yeah, so. Right. And they can. Cats can live for so long.
So long.
That's amazing.
That's a good one to start it off with, though.
Yeah, I thought that was fun. Do you have one at the ready?
Yeah,
okay,
I can do one.
All right.
So this one's, like, pretty spooky. I'll just get right into it.
All right.
So, I lived in the same house for over 20... I'm going to start that over.
Do it.
I lived in the same house for over 12 years before I moved out. It was an innocent village house that laid atop a hill. We had a maid that usually cleaned our house once a month. She was nice and we were close with her. We were quite surprised when she said that she was quitting. We kept asking her why, but she wouldn't tell us, saying that she wasn't comfortable with telling us. We were beyond confused. After lots of begging, she finally told us what made her want to quit. She said that while she was cleaning the house, she saw a girl in a white dress with long black hair that covered her face. This is one of 30 where the fucking story had a girl in a white dress with long black hair, and I finally just had to pick one of them.
Yeah,
like,
you had to.
They literally all, I swear, at least where I was reading, had some effect of a little girl with long black hair over her eyes, like the Samara effect. I had to pick one.
Yeah, no, this is good so far, but it made me laugh because earlier we were talking about it, and Ashley goes, why not a yellow dress? Or like,
why couldn't she have red hair?
Yeah.
Or curls? Or why couldn't it be a boy?
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
in pants.
trousers.
In pantaloons.
Yeah.
But it can't. So
yeah, it continues.
So
Good.
she said that. Black hair that covered her face. We all had dirty blonde hair and we weren't home at the time she was cleaning the house. We were super freaked out. That night when I was in bed, it suddenly got really cold. I hugged the nearest pillow next to me and prayed it would keep me warm. That morning, I woke up and found a long black lock of hair in my bed. The pillow I was hugging was on the opposite side of the room. My siblings pranked me a lot, so I automatically assumed they were messing with me. So I ran downstairs into their rooms and told them that what they had done was not funny. They denied it, but I didn't believe them. That was until they told me that they weren't even home last night and just got back that morning. They were both at a sleepover with their friends. I knew my parents wouldn't do this, so I immediately got freaked out.
Oh my gosh.
Since that moment, everyone refused to sleep over at our house, claiming that they would see a girl of the exact description our maid told them staring at them. I would keep waking up with strands of hair in my bed. It got so bad to the point where I started sleeping in my parents' room. We moved out now, but I soon found out that way back, before we owned the house, a serial killer had lived in it, and that they had buried victims under the house.
No.
Apparently, he preferred little girls. It still freaks me out to this day.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so
actually pretty
scary.
spooky. Mm-hmm.
Do you believe in that stuff?
Oh, that, I think it's such a, the dichotomy of it all. You know,
Yeah.
that it's such a involved thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'll say? I'm gonna say I don't not believe in it.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
I've had some interesting situations happen in my life,
Mm-hmm.
but I've never actually truly physically seen something.
Right.
So I can't say definitively one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people have seen a lot of things, and
Yeah.
you know, maybe they did, maybe they're all nuts.
Maybe they
I don't
were.
know.
No,
Maybe,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So, do you believe in it?
I do.
Okay.
I haven't ever seen I haven't seen or heard a ghost, but I like to think that people who have passed, they're not trapped here. I'm hoping not, unless they have some unfinished business. Like in Casper. I just watched Casper. The Friendly Ghost. That was
That's a good one.
isn't it a good Halloween movie?
We're watching Supernatural right now.
Yeah.
The show, and that stuff. It's just that's. I don't know. Can there be a way?
Yeah.
The thing is, it's possible. It's not maybe probable, but I'm not ruling it out, which means that it can't be science that it's not true.
Right.
Because I can't rule it out.
Exactly.
So it very well could be.
Right.
And if ghosts are listening to this right now, I really don't want to be haunted.
That's on the record.
Just to clear that up.
We really don't.
I do believe in you if it means you will not haunt me. You're real.
Yeah, we believe in you. No, I actually do. The whole I think that our loved ones, people who have passed, I think that they can come back and maybe say some things to us that we need to hear, or
Oh, I for sure believe in that. I for
Yeah.
sure believe in showing us signs and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe in the little ghouls,
Yeah.
being outside of your
okay,
room.
yeah, more of the Halloween ghost.
Yeah, that. Yeah, with the legends and this whole thing behind.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. What I do believe in is, yeah, for sure, spirits. I don't necessarily believe that energy ever goes anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I feel like people send you signs, or you've heard of the third person syndrome. They were just talking about this actually on.
What is it?
It's essentially when you're in a very dire situation, a life or death situation, and you have the moment where you think you hear somebody else talking to you and they're giving you guidance, and it's basically like an angel. I for sure believe in that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's otherworldly. I don't know, a little girl in a dress. I don't know.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe not the little girl in the dress.
With the long black hair.
Always the long black hair.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of leads me up to another listener write-in. Let me find it on my phone. Okay. So, so this goes along perfectly with what we were just talking about. So, my husband and I traveled to Florida years ago to visit my mom and my sister who lived there, since my dad died a few years before. We were driving with our 3 kids, who were 10, 8, and 7. Anyway, my sister took her 2 kids and ours out for breakfast while Jim and I stayed home with my mother. My mom was sleeping in her bedroom next to the bathroom where Jim and I were quietly getting ready for the day, as we did not want to wake her. I was primping in the mirror and he was shaving, and Jim started to get a bit frisky with me.
Oh.
And I shushed him and I said, "Stop. I mean, come on, my mom is right next door. Besides, I wanted to get into the Florida sunshine." He kept on, though, not in like a menacing way, but I still wasn't in the mood, and I was getting really aggravated. He was trying to hug me, and I know I wasn't going to let him get that close, so I wiggled out. And then he kept laughing, and then went in for another hug, and we both heard a voice say, "No," in all caps. And I looked at him, and he looked at me, and we were just staring at each other in the mirror, because it was a man's voice, and no one was there but us and my mom. I peeked out on my mom, and she was fast asleep. We did a quick sweep of the entire house, and there was no one except my husband and my mom there. We both heard that voice clear as day. Needless to say, my husband lost the mood, and even though I was shaken up some, I secretly thanked whoever the voice was for the scary warning that no means no, LOL. And then I messaged them back, and then we were messaging a little bit, and then she said, I think it was my dad who said no. Because he died, apparently he actually died in the house.
Oh my God.
And so that's where they were. Yeah.
I'm sorry, is this her husband?
This is her, what do you mean? Like the voice?
No, who was doing this to her?
Yes, her husband was like getting frisky.
Okay. And she's like, "Stop," and he's, okay.
She's like, "I just like want to get out in the sunshine. Yeah. Like, let's my mom's next door."
So it was like relatively harmless. Like it wasn't okay.
It was, she put not in a menacing way.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
Right.
Wow. Oh, that kind of like gives me chills a little bit,
right? And
thinking that
I like
Dad's still looking out.
Exactly. I like that was like a real listener, a real story that happened to her.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just like a Reddit story, because, sometimes they can be fabricated if we don't know where the source is coming from.
Right.
So, yeah. So I thought that was a good one. All right, I'm going to pull up a picture and I'm going to show it to you.
Okay.
So this one is a really short caption. It just says, "Someone left a phone with a busted screen in a road stop toilet stall. I pulled in while driving home after making a delivery, and I needed coffee. This photo was the only thing on it." So imagine finding a phone and that's the only thing that you're seeing. What are you seeing?
Okay.
Describe.
I am seeing, I'm seeing an old country road. It's like a 4-lane road. It's very foggy outside. And to the right, what looks like maybe going into like a ditch or a cornfield on the right are the longest legs you've ever seen. Probably there's 2 sets of them. So there's 4 legs attached to these long, skinny bodies. Probably honestly like 20 feet long legs.
Is it kind of giving you Patrick Star? In the SpongeBob movie.
This one is. That one is for sure.
A scary one.
But like spooky. It's also giving me War of the Worlds with like
that's exactly
Tom Cruise.
Yes. It's huge. Like these aren't like, this is not a human size.
No, this is like 20 feet legs. They're really skinny though.
Yeah.
Like these legs compared to the car.
Ooh. Like
brittle. Like you could probably just X it down.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's spooky. That's really creepy.
Yeah. So, okay, all the photos that we're talking about, we'll be posting them on our Instagram.
Yeah.
So make sure to
tell us what you think.
Yeah, what they look like. Yeah.
Spooky.
I know. Do you have another one?
I do. Okay. Let's see. Okay. This is a haunted hotel experience. Okay. So I was pretty young. So this is called my haunted hotel experience.
Okay.
I was pretty young, but I still believed in spiritual things like ghosts. So when this happened, I was absolutely baffled. I was traveling with some family, and we found a hotel we could stay at for a while. It was not a normal-looking hotel. It looked as if a old-timey hotel. We all had thoughts about this look, but we didn't think too far ahead. The first couple of days were okay, but then I would tend to hear a little girl humming, and all this took place mostly in the bathroom. After maybe a week, I tried to avoid going to the bathroom as much as possible. When I overheard my sister talking to my mom about it feeling like we weren't the only ones in the room, I felt like I had a knot in my stomach. And although I slept in the middle, I still felt like it wasn't my sister or my mother sleeping next to me. Ooh. I also got weird feelings when we went to the laundry room. I feel like I can confirm this spirit as some sort of girl because 1, my sister and my mom said they also thought that they felt a little girl. 2 was because the eerie feeling was that this spirit's humming sounded like a girl. We never complained though for some reason, but I guess it doesn't really matter anymore. I can still picture what I thought she would look like as a humming little girl. She had an Alice look, but if Alice looked like she sharpied the ends of her hair. The dress also looked cupped and more something looking, as if she took a shower, or wet looking, as if she took a shower with her clothes on. Her hair looked like the girl from The Ring. Her hair looked like the girl from The Ring.
Always.
Sorry. With her long hair covering her face, and her skin was milky white, and I kind of saw an outline of her ribs. That's the only thing that I remember. There could be a lot more, but that's all that I remember.
Oh my gosh.
Because she was really little. What do you think about that
so
story?
Scary.
I feel like it's made up.
It could be a really good creative writing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so like...
The way it was written was so... I read it pretty quickly, and just trying to read that, like, now live, I felt like I was having a stroke. Like, the way they wrote it? The way they wrote that was just... There were, like, random commas in the middle of... I'm like...
Yeah, so it's not a creative writing. It's a journal dump.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So maybe it was real.
Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe it was real.
Okay.
I feel like I believe that people come to Reddit for, like, seeking either, like, validation or approval or advice.
Or community.
Community, yeah, exactly. So hopefully they stick to a creative writing class if that's what their goal is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that it was real.
Yeah.
100%.
The humming would send me into psychosis. No. If I heard that, first of all, this isn't my house. My parents don't own a mortgage here. I'm getting in the fucking vehicle and we're leaving.
We're out.
What do you mean? My mom's hearing it too. My sister's like, why haven't we left?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty, like, obvious.
Yeah.
We're gone.
Also, the 3 of them, I mean, we're sharing a bed. Maybe it was hard times.
Yeah, it could have been.
Could have been.
Hard times.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
Okay. This is called Horrifying Experience During Quarantine. Okay. I was upstairs in my room one night playing video games with the volume really loud when I thought I heard noises coming from the downstairs. I muted the TV and listened closer. Nothing. Oops. I almost deleted it.
Oh.
Does that ever happen where, like, your fingers or like, your thumb gets in the way?
Oh, yeah.
And, like, yeah. Okay, sorry. Mm-hmm. I muted the TV and listened closer. Nothing. I resumed playing the game for another hour when I heard it again, only louder. I was sure I heard it this time, and was a little freaked out. To assure myself, I went downstairs to the basement where I thought I heard the noise coming from. As soon as I opened the basement door, I was hit with a cold breeze.
Oh.
I went downstairs and saw that the window was wide open. I was 1,000% sure that I had closed it and locked the windows in the house that night. I was ready to make a run for it when something stopped me. I turned around. For the first time, I noticed the closet door was slightly cracked open. I stood there for what seemed like 30 minutes in front of that door, debating whether I should open it. I moved closer and I put my hand on the doorknob. All of a sudden, I heard a creepy cackle coming from the inside of the closet. I have never run faster up a flight of stairs before. I locked the door and called the cops, who had an unusually fast response time. They came in and searched the house, and not even 5 minutes into their search, I heard a gunshot from downstairs.
Holy shit.
A few minutes later, they came out with a deranged-looking man, probably homeless, ? They put him in the back of the cop car and told me they had opened the door and that the man was holding a gun at them and missed. He luckily missed the cops. The cops disarmed him and arrested him. The scariest part was how close I was to opening that door and likely being murdered.
Oh my God.
Isn't that terrifying? Just some deranged guy coming in and with a gun in your closet.
That's so terrifying. Also, I'm very surprised that the police didn't shoot the person. Like, how many stories do you hear where somebody opens fire on the police and they don't I mean, I guess good on them. Like, that's
right.
If they could just grab the person and de-escalate it, that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
That is so crazy. I cannot imagine. I literally got the chills hearing that.
And imagine you're upstairs, you're locked in your room, you don't really know what's going on, but you hear that gunshot, you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, that could have been...
The cackling is what sent me, I think. Like, cackling? Like, you give yourself away and you have the gun. Like, what if the other person had a gun?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know.
Oh my God.
Well, the person did have a gun, right? We're on the same page with that. Okay.
But yeah, no, he had a gun.
Yes.
But imagine if the person, if she had a gun.
Got it. The OP, writer. Okay.
What if the writer, the OP, had a gun and they're like laughing, like immediately I'm opening and shooting.
Right.
So, like, you're in my home.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's right or wrong, but I'm pretty sure in Michigan that's legal.
Yeah. I mean, if you are in someone else's home and you're cackling at them.
Yeah. One of us is not making it out of here. And I will be seeing tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, one thing about me, about all these spooky stories, is that I think that's why I have such a fealty to scary, spooky stories, truly. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm the kind of gal that, I think we both kind of are. We listen to so much true crime, but I'm to the point where I fall asleep a good amount of nights listening to forensic files. Like, it's something about that man's voice. I don't know. It's kind of soothing. I don't know what it is, on a low volume.
Oh, yeah.
But I want to learn about all this stuff. I want to learn about how people got away, and unfortunately sometimes how they didn't. So that if I am ever, unfortunately, in such a horrible situation like that, I'm just hoping that my brain will be able to recall, like, in that moment, like what other people have done or what I could do in that situation, and it could potentially save me, to the point where and this is not a challenge. This is not a challenge to anybody listening. But please, my God. But I mean, I think I would fuck someone up. True, like, if somebody was in my house and came after me or somebody that I loved, I would destroy them. Yeah, at least very much, like, disarm. I'd be able to handle it. Like, I don't know. I have that feeling in me that somehow, like, I'm a fighter. Like, I just...
Oh, yeah.
I get really freaked out by the stories, but I take that fear and I've molded it into something like, hopefully not naivete or, blind confidence or, like, false confidence, but, like, I truly... I don't know.
It's knowledge.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's why I do love true crime, because it's like we're empowering ourselves with all this knowledge. What did they do? What did they not do? Like, all of the sneaky ways that, killers can try to befriend you or whatever. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? That's why I keep coming back to true crime. It's because I'm like, I need to know.
Like, how to, I guess what I'm getting, yes, exactly what I'm getting at is that I want to know all the tools on how to survive. Because the very scary reality of being a woman is that this happens to women all the time.
Have you ever, gotten into your car, it's, like, dark outside, and, like, you're the only one, you lock the doors, and then you think to yourself, like, there could be someone in my back seat? Have you ever thought that?
Oh, yeah, 100 times.
But then you start, like, acting crazy, so that, like, whoever's in the back seat is gonna be more scared than you are. You're just start, like, I don't know, like, singing to yourself, or, like, feeling crazy, you're like, I don't know.
See,
I don't know what I do.
If I've ever had that feeling, I'm not even kidding you. I am the kind of person that, like, if I actually truly have that feeling, I am not driving the vehicle. Like, I'm checking the car. I will check my car.
I've done that.
Like, I will like fully get out and I will check the car if I like have just, because women's intuition, like, a gut feeling is a gut feeling, and it's not always right, but it's. A lot of times it is. And I will check that situation and I will grab a weapon. I will grab a weapon as I go and look, and I'm it's not going to be me today.
Yeah.
And it won't be me tomorrow.
Right.
And, but yeah, no, I've definitely acted crazy before. I don't know if I've done it in the car. I think maybe I'll start doing that.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. It's like kind of like, and then you can be like, get out the car. Or like, you start talking, but then like you go and look and you're like, yeah, no one was in here, but like, just in case.
Yeah. No one was in here. Then it's a good thing, because the last guy that was in here is over in the river, dismembered. The last guy didn't make it out of here, yeah. I mean, just start being crazy. One time, I will say, I was walking home from getting drinks in Detroit, and I was walking home alone. Bad mistake. Always, I mean, you always gotta travel with a buddy.
You got to.
My phone was, this is a kind of a horror story of my own.
Uh-oh.
Phone was getting low on battery, and I just had like a feeling, not that I was being followed, but that I could be being followed, like, not that I heard anybody or whatever. I'm like, I just kind of got like a feeling. I started walking faster. I just was kind of like, I gotta get home. And I just got this idea or whatever it was to just start fucking acting like I was cracked out. Like, I was the craziest person in the whole, I was like walking like a complete, I was like, like, this is not a fucking joke. I literally was like, I was like snarling and like, truly, I was like, I can't wait to get home. I feel like I didn't say this, but like I was along the lines of being like, can't wait to get home and drink some blood. Like, I was like, I was seriously. It was the walk for me. I literally, I was like walking like this.
Or like almost like crawling, like, essentially.
Oh, it was like all of the limbs. Like, I looked possessed. I looked 1,000% possessed, and I probably scared the fuck out of like so many people. If they saw, I mean, it was a pretty like somewhat quiet night, and then as I got closer to my apartment, there were like more people, so I turned it back off. I'm like.
I'm cool.
Yeah, no, I'm not on any angel dust. I swear. I swear I live here.
You're on some video surveillance somewhere.
I'm on a watch list of like some.
Watch out.
Some like jewelry store downtown. But yeah, no, you have to, like, cause they say to do that. I mean, they.